Red Hook Studio. Funded with Kickstarter. That's good, man.
Ruin has come to our family.
Alright, I'm gonna cut this short. I'm gonna exit out of that. Audio settings, audio. Drop everything 3 more notches.
Victory.
That's good, man. Save those changes. Alright, hello and welcome to Darkest Dungeon. So I got this in early access a week or 2 ago when it first came out. It's so far a very enjoyable game. I'm looking forward to the full version being released, and so far they've been making regular improvements, and some of the improvements are making the game even harder than it already was. Some of the things that people have complained about in the forums being like too difficult or needing to be improved on, or even just explaining how they were sort of gaming the system in order to overcome some of the unbeatable challenge of the game. Well, the developers took that information and they went into the game and they actually added things to prevent the player from gaming the system. I'll get into that a little bit more. Here, I'm gonna load up my campaign. I'm at week 42. As you can see, this game has incredibly great graphics. It's got a really nice sort of
name, once so well regarded, is now barely whispered aloud by decent folk.
It's got a great art style. It's got very thick ink outlines to everything on sort of a cartoony style. Basically, the way this game works is you have the stagecoach, and they give you a few heroes each week, and you can add them over into your roster. And then you go down to embark, and here you have the various dark dungeons. They haven't got the Cove or the Darkest Dungeon itself ready yet, but in early access I can play in the Ruins or the Weald or the Warrens, and they have different levels. We have like apprentice level, and also there's different sizes. Like if it's small you won't have to camp, but this is medium, so there's 1 encampment. And camping helps you bring down your stress levels, because this game is all about managing stress. And here we have another apprentice level, and then veteran level, level 3. You can see some of my heroes have this icon. They're level 3, so they would be able to go on this mission, detoxifying the corpses. And then here we have champion level 5. And one of the main overarching goals of the game is to get a bunch of your heroes up to level 6. And those are sort of achievements when you can get them to level 6, or when you can defeat the different bosses in the game, which is pretty interesting. So right now I'm going to go to an easy dungeon, and I'm going to bring in some of my people. This game has sort of a hardcore death feature to it, where when your people die, they're just dead forever. So you can see I have Ninja here, Ninja 3, because Ninja 1 and Ninja 2 have both died. I have a really difficult time keeping these guys alive. But you can open up a window and you can see various skills that they have. Ninja is basically all about shooting, so he has all 3 skills for shooting. Now you can mix and match. You can use like a knife-based skill or a bleeding skill. And they have this one which allows you to sort of buff your accuracy and your critical hits. And there's camping skills here. But I've chosen to focus all on the gun, and you can see where their preferred positions are. He wants to be somewhere in the middle, so I'm putting him right there. I have Nicole 2. Nicole 2 likes to be towards the back, and she's mostly a healer. I have Sarah Rianne. Sarah Rianne likes to be sort of near the front. She's a grave robber. I'm going to put her... I don't know if I can put her in this group. She wants to be closer than that. What about Ninja? Can he be further back? He can be further back. So I'm going to put Ninja in the third slot and Sarah in the second. And then all I need is somebody who's going to be like my front row heavy hitting tank, and that's going to be Trinity. So I have Trinity, Sarah Rianne, Ninja 3, and Nicole 2, and I'm going to go into the Warrens. Now before setting off on an adventure you have to have certain provisions, and so I'm going to give myself a whole bunch of food and a couple of shovels and some bandages and some anti-venoms and several torches and embark. Now you only have so much money, so you can only buy certain things. If you don't have enough money, you're kind of out of luck, and then you also have to use money to put people in the mental institution and help them recover from the various stress-related mental disorders that they get in the gameplay. Alright.
They breed quickly down there in the dark, but perhaps we can slay them even faster.
So as I've already said, so far my reaction to this game has been tremendously positive. I love the art style, I love the gameplay, I love just the dungeon exploration and finding loot and the hardcore roguelike, like total death where you cannot save your game, you cannot save your characters. If they die, they're just gone forever. It makes the game a lot more exciting. It's almost like the rush you might get from gambling. Because if you gamble with your party of adventurers getting through the dungeon and getting a bunch of treasure, there's a chance that you're going to lose that gamble, and you will lose everything that you have built up to that point in that character, which might have taken dozens of hours to get them to where they're at. So the way this works, they give you a mini-map down here, and you have to choose... you're in a room, and there's a hallway connected to another room. You have to choose a room to go to. And that brings you into the hallway, and then you have to choose an adventurer who's going to interact with different things that you come across, like this backpack. It contained loot. I got lucky, I got some stuff. And you have a very limited inventory. Your people can only carry this many items. So sometimes you have to choose which things you want to keep and which things you want to leave behind. And torches affect this light here. If you have less light, the monsters coming at you will be tougher and they'll have better treasure. Here it also says that it improves your scouting and monster surprise to have that rating up there, and I can keep that rating high by using my torches, but I only have a limited supply. Now here we have my first big encounter with a group of bandits, and you can see some of them are dual-wielding swords and some of them have muskets. And the musket people are very dangerous. I'm going to attempt to take out some of those people in the back as quickly as possible. Here you can see they hit my entire group. They don't do a whole lot of damage unless they get a critical hit. And here you can see this is stress. Stress builds up under their health bar. My group is already in bad shape. I came in with a group of stressed out people and they're going to all go insane. I thought that would make for an interesting video. It'll help me to explain some of the features of this game and how stress relates to the gameplay. Since everyone took a hit, I'm going to heal everyone. Now, I haven't quite healed them as much as they took damage, but what can you do? Alright, so Ninja is going to attack with his gun, and he can hit the first 3. Doing pretty decent damage there. Now, Ninja's very dodgy. You can see some of the stats down here in the corner. You have accuracy for your attacks, your critical hit chance, the damage that you'll do if you do hit, the chances of dodging, the amount of armor protection that you have, and the speed determines when you attack, if you attack first or last. So here, Trinity, he's going to try to stun some of these enemies. Now, stun lock is very important in this game because when you get hit hard. And you can only heal a little bit. You can only heal so much, so you need to try to stun lock the enemies as much as possible so that they can't attack. Now, unfortunately there, I did not stun lock anybody. I'm going to try to take some people out with my throwing daggers again, and you can see they were both killed, which is huge. The rest of the battle should be quite a bit easier, so I'm going to continue to heal my people. And then I'm going to use a pistol shot, which has like a much higher chance of critical hit and a lower damage modifier in the negative range. A lot of attacks have a negative damage modifier. This one is negative 25%. Ooh, a dodge. Excellent. Excellent. I love it. Now she resisted bleeding. Each one of these people has a whole bunch of resistances to stun, to blight, to disease, death blows, being moved around, being debuffed, bleeding, traps, all of that. So it's all based on a random number generator. You have a chance of avoiding things, and otherwise you're just going to get hit by it and you can't do much about it.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
This game has an amazing narrator too. He comments on all the things that you do when you land a critical hit or when one of your party dies or goes insane. He likes to make a little comment about it.
This expedition at least promises success.
Alright, got my first win. I've collected some loot. I've got deeds, which help you upgrade things back in town, money, which you need to repair your damaged minds of your heroes, and food. Food is like the healing item. You can actually use the food and it'll give you a point of health back, which is practically worthless. Bandages can resolve bleeding. I have 2 rounds of 1 damage per round, so I can patch Sarah up and she'll be okay. I'll mosey on over here to the door and go through into the next room. Now my light level is high and I have Ninja, who's a good scout. He was able to scout ahead a little bit and tell me there's a wall and something to interact with and a fight up ahead.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
So when you come across a wall, you can dig through it with your hands, but it'll injure your group and make everybody stressed out. But I'm going to use one of these shovels that I brought with me. That clears the path a little bit easier. Here I've got some bones. I'll have the grave robber dig it up. Ooh, Sarah became bloodthirsty. Now everybody in my party, they have quirks. You can have good quirks like Amateur Weaponsmith gives you negative 20% weapon upgrade cost, but you can also have bad quirks like Bloodthirsty, where you're fascinated with injury, wounds, torture. Now, some of these, they don't really explain what they do in any numerical sense. It's just sort of like a way they interact, a way they talk about the world. That might not necessarily have a whole lot of gameplay effects, unless it's got something to do with like whether they want to be healed or not. Sometimes you'll have a character that's a masochist and he wants the pain, he wants to be hurt, he wants to be, if he's hopeless, he wants to be killed and he'll refuse healing. Awesome character design in this game. Just look at these enemies, they're fantastic. Their animation is fantastic, the art style is fantastic. Can't say enough good things about the artist that developed this game. Now they've moved Sarah all the way to the back here. That's a bit of a disadvantage for me. I'm going to try to get her back into position. Alright, I'm going to try that stun attack.
Well struck.
Now you can see everybody improved their stress levels because I got a good critical hit and killed an enemy. It looks like Sarah can still attack from the back row, so she's just gonna do that instead of wasting a turn moving around. And you can actually name these people, and I've chosen to give them all names of people that I know. Healing again. It just makes it interesting, you know, when one of your friends' names is the hero in your game and that hero contracts syphilis. You can go and tell that person later, oh, you caught syphilis in my game. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, she can't do anything now, so I'm going to use this round to move her up and do some more healing. Victory.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Alright, I'm going to improve my scouting chance again by using a couple of my torches. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be real bad. Fortunately, I surprise them so I can take a round to give my improved accuracy and improved critical hit chance to do a little bit of damage before we actually get attacked by the enemy. You can hover over the enemies and get a look at what kind of resistances they have. Now these Carrion Eaters have stun resistance of 75 and bleed resistance, so I'm not even going to bother trying with that. I'm just going to go straight for the kill. Alright. Oh no. Oh no. This is bad. This is really bad. Stress levels are too high for that.
Terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
You can see a lot of the enemy's attacks are specifically designed to improve your stress levels. Oh no, how could you miss? Come on, Trinity. Alright. Only one left. This gross little swine wretch likes to vomit on you and give you diseases and blight you with poison. Alright. Now the swine wretch only has a little bit of stun resistance, so I'm going to try to whack him. Of course it killed him, so it doesn't really matter much.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Nice, Warren's Explorer. Plus 20% scouting chance is really helpful here. I like that. Reaping the benefits of that scouting chance. Now I can zoom out and you can see the size and scope of this dungeon that I am in here. That's why I'm going to have to camp at some point. And scouting has enabled me to see this trap here in the ground, which is really helpful to disarm it before it hits me.
The light, the promise of safety.
I'm really liking the way that they've made the light levels affect the surprise chance. That's very beneficial. So as long as I keep those torches handy, I can get these early hits in. No, not good, not good. Oh, yes. Yes, excellent. This battle is going better than I could have ever hoped for. Alright, I'll take that. Now when they become stunned, they stay stunned until the next time where they actually would have an opportunity to do something, and then the stun goes away. Some things do stack though. Stunning does not, but bleeding and blight do stack, so if you blight an enemy twice, then he'll take twice as much damage every round. Critical hit. Good job, Sarah. You're looking a tad wan, friend.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
I do love looting things. Now, if I had a key, I could potentially use that key on this heirloom chest and find hidden compartments, but I'm just going to go ahead and open it and get these treasures here. You can see I got emeralds, which are worth 500, but they fill in a whole extra slot, and you can only hold, I think, 4 emeralds in a slot. So that's where the strategy of what to keep and what to leave behind comes into play. So far I'm doing really well. The odds can turn in against you easily though. I mean, right now I just happen to be very lucky with the random number generators, but at any minute things could go horribly wrong. And that's just the nature of the game. It's really exciting in this game the way things can turn, like the tide can turn against you, or it can turn in your favor and you never know which way it's gonna go. What can I do from back here? He's got stress heal, healing, and torch boost. But it's probably best if I move him up to where he can actually deal some real damage. And Ninja, he has this handy point blank shot, which moves him back. So that's a great strategy. I was able to get Trinity back up in the front where he needs to be very easily. I'm going to try to take out that Lady Cultist because she has the ability to cause more stress, and that's the last thing that I need is more stress.
A powerful blow.
Yes, a powerful blow.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten. The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
So now the question becomes, when do I camp? So much good luck. It's unreal. I was coming in here with the express purpose of demonstrating how bad things could get, and I just happened to be having incredibly fortunate luck.
Glorious is the trap maker's art, his efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Ooh, what did I get? What did I get? Natural swing. +5 accuracy. Fantastic.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Alright. Now camping is going to help me out a lot because I'll be able to reduce the stress levels of my people, and I want to do that before they get to the breaking point, because once people break, it's sort of a 50-50 chance. Maybe they will, you know, tough it out and they'll become stronger because of the corner they've been backed into. You know, cornered animal is more dangerous. But it could easily go the other way, and they'll become hopeless or abusive, and they'll just start yelling at their companions and lowering everybody's...
Ambushed by foul invention.
Oh, that's not good. Well, I'm going to patch him up. Okay, so, lesson learned. Trinity is not good at disarming traps. And an empty room. Alright. I'll head back the way I came. So far this game has been rock stable. It's only crashed on me a couple of times. Considering it's early access, that's a really good thing. Alright, I'm gonna make camp.
A spark without kindling, is a goal without hope.
I've got 12 food, which is plenty, so I'm going to use 8 and get a bunch of healing and a bunch of stress relief. So then we have camping skills. A lot of them are either to buff up your character, improve your accuracy, and reduce stress, and things of that nature. Some of them allow you to heal people. The Grave Robber can actually produce food, which is interesting, but I don't really need it. I've already got a good scouting chance. Alright, stress relief. Accuracy and dodge buff. Stress resistance, because his stress levels are way too high. Alright, he's doing well. I don't think anybody has a single digit, because I only have 1 respite, so I'm going to rest now. Now, Sarah is in the worst shape of any of my people, but hopefully she won't get hit too much because she's a little bit further back in my arrangement, my party order. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms left to go. Try to power through this dungeon. Come out the other side. Uh-oh. This guy, he's a tough one. He can do a lot of bleeding damage to my party. I tried to take out the dude in the back. Fortunately, I did not get the lucky critical hit. Alright. Well, let's see if I can stun him. Damn it. No such luck. Suppose my best bet is just to do the maximum amount of damage. Try to get rid of him as fast as possible. Alright. My incredible luck holds. Finish him. Oh no, he's got a little bit left. Will you die already?
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Keeping those light levels high.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Uh-oh. Giant spiders. These are the glass cannon of enemies. They can do an incredible amount of damage, but they have very little hit points. So hopefully I can just blast them all. Get rid of some of them before they have a chance to strike.
Executed with impunity.
Fantastic. Alright, here is a deteriorating bracer. If your health is above 75, it gives you plus 10 dodge. If it's below 25, it gives you plus 5 dodge. You can see there's a couple slots here where you can hold items. So Trinity, he's going to get this. Give him a nice little dodge boost. Looks like everybody else already has items on them. Oh no. Oh no. Look at those stress levels. He's in trouble. I have a feeling he's going to break before the end of this dungeon. Maybe I should have other people interact with things. Well, a map is good. A map lets you scout out the remaining areas. Ninja seems well suited to disarming these traps too. Okay, I did not get the surprise round this time, unfortunately. My people are incredibly dodgy though, so the chances of me taking too much damage are not very high. Bad humors. This game is just full of old-timey words and sayings. Really playing into the whole gothic horror aspect of it. I'd really like to stun him, but I couldn't do it. Trying again. Swing and a miss. Can't do anything about it.
A devastating blow.
Alright, that is good. That helped a little bit. Just a little bit. They've got things balanced just right so that, you know, the things that help you help a little bit, but the things that hurt you hurt a lot. So, chances are, things are going to go bad eventually.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Two rooms left. Before I go in this room, I'm going to use up almost all of my torches. Well, the way that my luck has been going, it looks like I brought way too many supplies. No, I just ate again and I still have 6 food. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat some of it. That gives me an extra space in my inventory. Ninja is so good at disarming traps. I guess being a highwayman, you have a good understanding of how to lay a trap and how to disarm it. Alright, I'm gonna blast these fools. Finish him! I might as well just give up trying to do that. These big dudes, they have so much stun resistance that trying to stun them is like punching a brick wall. The only person that ends up getting hurt is you. Alright, go for a hit. Yes. And that's it. I think I have cleared this dungeon out. Sacrificial Cauldron. They've been adding new graphics to the items that you find here. Some of the items you can only give to certain people. I don't have a cultist in my party right now, but I do have a couple of them. It seems to be like a thing to use in camp, which is interesting. I haven't seen a camp item yet. Quest complete. But I have a treasure chest open. Really? Really? Come on. So it looks like I didn't really need the bandages or the anti-venom or the shovel that I brought. A little bit of wasted money, but oh well. I'm gonna exit out.
Some experiments should have never happened. You are doing just work ending them.
Alright, lots and lots of goodies. The Warrior's Bracer. Cool. Plus 10% damage. I can use that. Now, whenever you defeat a dungeon, you get Resolve experience, which counts towards gaining levels. And you also sometimes will get a quirk, disease resistance. Sarah got a bad one. She is afraid of men because of those bandits that did so much damage to her. And second wind, that's a good one. Oh, come on. Slow draw? I am a gun specialist. How could you give me slow draw? So here we are going back to town. They give you a little bit of activity log here where
faces of passers-by. A glimmer of hope.
People from the previous week that were doing something to recover from the stress that they got in the dungeon. It gives you a listing of how much stress they relieved from doing whatever they were doing. He was at the tavern. He was at the tavern. Jinxie, the third, she went out drinking 2 weeks ago, and I was expecting she would recover some stress and come back the following week, but she went on a bender, so she did not come back. And here, a third week yet, she is still missing. The Jinxie the third in my game is a alcoholic of epic proportions. Alright, and so it tells you which people came back from the dungeon and how they did, or if they all died. You can see the goals that you have are to defeat various bosses. I've defeated 2 of the bosses. I feel pretty good about that. I haven't gotten anybody to level 6. I'm a long ways off from that, apparently. So I'll go over a little bit of what you do in town here. You have a place to upgrade your weapons. You have a place to upgrade your skills. You have a place where you can buy items, but they're way overpriced. And you can actually lower the price if you get enough of those upgrade items from the dungeon, but I haven't gotten them yet. You have a graveyard where you can see the long list of everybody who's died. And then the 3 main buildings are these ones here, the Abbey, the Sanitarium, the Tavern. If I go into the Tavern here, you can see there's a bar, there's a gambling hall, and there's a brothel. Ninja's going to go in the brothel because that relieves a lot of his stress. Sarah's going to go drinking because that's how she relieves her stress. And Caroline has a lot of stress too. They're going to go drinking together, the 2 grave robbers having a drink. Trinity likes to gamble, that's why he's a tank. Now Sharpie, he's got an X for the brothel. He doesn't like the brothel. He says he's a flagellant. He will only flagellate for self-relief. Now that's flagellate, not flatulate. An important distinction. If I go to the Abbey, you can see the penance hall where you whip yourself to punish yourself for your sins. He's going to go do that because that's what he likes. Who else? Nicole, she can't do any of these things. She's got Gambler. She likes to gamble. So I'm going to jump back over into the other building, and I only have 1 slot open in the gambling hall. Now I can upgrade it with crests and paintings, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And that opens up a new slot here, and then I can put Nicole in there and she'll gamble away a whole bunch of my money. Which unfortunately does happen. Sometimes she will gamble away her items or the money that I've accumulated. Hopefully she wins at the dice games that they're playing there. And then you also have the Sanitarium, if I look at Yawn here, you can see he's got a whole bunch of bad quirks: claustrophobia, bloodthirst, guilty conscience, witness, unquiet mind. So I can take him and I can put him in the sanitarium and I can say, I want to cure you of your bloodthirstiness. Maybe witness? Yeah, I don't know what any of these things do, so I'm just going to pick one and fix it. And I'll put Shep in here, and he's got diurnal, which lowers his speed if you run out of torches. Oh, actually, zoophobia is a more important one. -20 stress resist when monsters attack is a bad one. So hopefully, by the following week, they'll be cured of those negative quirks. Eventually, if you spend enough money, you'll have a person that's got all the good quirks and none of the bad ones. That's really what you're going for. And, you know, boosting up everybody's skills to level 2 and level 3 and giving them some good items that give them nice bonuses. That's really going to help when you go into the higher level dungeons and the enemies are outrageously powerful and they can do huge damage and huge stress to everybody in your party. And that's basically how it's done. That was Darkest Dungeon. So again, just my review, if I had to rate it 10 on a 10 scale, like, it would be a 10 out of 10. I totally love this game and I recommend everybody go out and buy it. $20, you can't go wrong. I've already put in more than 20 hours into this game. If you go to the movies, you're gonna pay like $12 to $14 to go to the movie and enjoy it for 2 hours, but you can get a game like this that you'll enjoy for 20, 30, 40, 50 hours for $20. You're really getting a lot of bang for your buck, so I highly recommend it if you're into role-playing games, if you're into roguelike games, if you just love the gothic horror ambiance of H.P. Lovecraft novel, then you will love this game the way that I do. So, that's all I have to say about that. I am exiting to desktop.